guys, hi, what's up? It is a beautiful week to be here again at the UDOM podcast. Of course, as usual, I'm bringing you the students or anybody that is related to UDOM so as we can talk about different things about a UDOM, be it lifestyle, academic stuff, in and out the campus. But specifically this time, because we're into admissions month and this has been ongoing, we want to talk deeply into that, and that has made me to meet this beautiful lady here who is doing her studies at the University of Dodoma. Her name is Abigail. Welcome, Abigail, at UDOM podcast.
Thank you.
It is very lovely hosting you here today.
I'm glad to be here.
All right, so before we go any further, I want people to know who is Abigail.
As introduced, my name is Abigail, and I re-estated here in Dodoma, and UDOM has been quite an eye-catcher for me since I got here, and I would love to say that even since I was doing my secondary studies, I remember passing by here for the first time, and I was very captivated by the surroundings, and my mother told me, "You're gonna come and study here one day," and I was like, okay. that's out of context, but then I was happy and excited to know that I was gonna be in a part of a beautiful campus. And so as I got here, I cannot say my expectations have been met nevertheless, and it's been amazing. I've gotten opportunities, I've gotten to meet people, I made new friends, so it's a growth that I've made here, and I'm very proud of it.
UDOM is all about the growth and opportunities and opening new experiences. So what are you doing here? What courses are you taking? What's your major? What's your minor?
Okay, so I'm taking cybersecurity, and that's going on pretty well. It's a very interesting course to delve into, honestly. I did not see myself doing this at first at all, especially after finishing A-levels.
Yeah.
But then when I started, I just saw myself going here, and I did not think that I was gonna take this and pursue this even furthermore. But I feel like this is my path for me, and you should definitely go for it.
Was it hard at first?
I mean, there are some challenging things, but then it's an engaging class. So you don't really feel like you're learning something out of context or you're learning something that is outdated. And it's been very encouraging that everywhere I go to, either it's my mother's office or wherever I meet with people, they're like, yeah, that's definitely a bright course you're in. And I also feel that way. You get to work on real life scenarios. And of course, people here and there tease, say, would you hack my boyfriend or girlfriend? But then I'm like, no, it's all about the ethical.
Yeah, but so you can do that. But like, is it possible to do that? But it's just because it's not ethical, as you said, you cannot do that.
Definitely, various of ways.
Wow.
But I'm off the market.
Really
I'm
cool.
off the market for that. Okay.
Mind blowing. I think it's hard, isn't it?
You get the hang of it. It's practice. It's honestly practice, because I did not know much about IT when I came to study about it, and that actually worried me a bit. But then the more I stayed here, I realized that there's nothing that's unachievable. The more you practice, the more you sit with people who have even more years of expertise, and they impart their knowledge and training on you, you get to grow, and you know things, and even better than anybody else could. So it's not too difficult. It's not
woman,
too difficult.
Is it much girls in the class rather than boys? Is it 50-50? What's the status about the gender issue in pursuing that?
I mean, I would be honest, it's definitely the boys more in class, because
I knew that.
It's
IT. Yeah.
It's IT.
Yeah.
But then surprisingly, there is a higher rate of women than I expected to find, because when you're in school, you won't find a bunch of girls sitting down and talking about, oh, how I'm gonna pursue my IT studies, and everybody's like so stereotypical that ladies will just sit down and talk about design, fashion, and that's what they want to pursue, or nutrition. But then you come into class and actually meet your fellow age mates and other women that want to pursue this. They're not doing it just to get a certificate. They they love what they're doing, and they're putting their mind into it, putting their work into it. You find them late nights working hard on their assignments, and not only that, but even side things that they're working on that is related to IT. So that was motivating. It was a beautiful sight, honestly.
I really love seeing women doing stuff that are molded or sculptured. They're made to be for men.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I really do love and appreciate those girls who break the barriers and go for it regardless.
Yeah.
Right. You did some art stuff back then. The gender equality, the gender issue art thing,
Yeah.
which you won actually.
Yeah.
I would love to talk about it.
Okay, so this was UNESCO's O3 Plus project, and it was on a gender-based violence movement. So it was a competition that was put out like 2 years back, on which people could use any form of art, either be it a poetry or actual art. You draw and paint and creative writing, essay writing, in whichever way that you can engage yourself to promote awareness of gender-based violence, because it's definitely there and we can't deny that.
Yeah.
And so that was interesting. It was referred to me by a friend, actually. I did not know about it at first, but my very close friend called in from Bea. She also participated and told me, "Hey Abigail, there is this." And honestly, I'm such a writer. That's one thing about me.
Yeah.
I am such a writer. So I was like, yeah, let me give it a go. And I wrote a little poem. It's called Pretty Skirt. I had less expectations, actually, for it making it anywhere. But to my surprise, and honestly, I'll thank God for it, because I cannot owe it up to myself, I won.
Yeah, I refer back when you actually won. It is when we actually had the first conversation over the phone, and it took 3 years for me to meet you in person. How crazy is that? I'm meeting you today. It's mind blowing. But I want you to take me through the whole process of you getting into now writing. What was the inspiration? What was it about? What did you write about?
Okay, so with writing, it's something like I can call like a talent, probably God-given from when I was young. I've always been writing, either it's emotional writing or whatever I had in my mind. Definitely me, definitely me. I have like 9 notebooks that are finished within 2 years, done. And so that's just been me. And given that opportunity that I could use my writing for a change, that was something amazing for me. And so I grabbed the opportunity as it came to me, and I had to put myself in my own shoes, because I am a woman, and I had to think about it that way. How is the world, and how has it always perceived women? And what do you see every day, or whenever you walk in the streets, or you're in the bus, or you're in an office? What do women experience? And you can see, even though people won't like tell it to your face, like, you're a woman, so you can't do this, you can't touch that, this is not for you. But then there are signs, like you see things. You get into an office and your table is like far apart from every other person.
Yeah, and everybody giving you the look like, okay.
Yeah.
She's here.
Yeah.
Why is she here?
Exactly. So you see how the world perceives you, and how you're being trained that you're a woman now. Education wasn't really important for you to begin with, and you have to get married off so you can get profit in families. And I hope that to some extent that has reduced in certain cultures and traditions. And you but it's still there. You see it, like girls grow up being told like, you're gonna get married, and this is your duty. You're gonna go stay home and take care of the kids. And it's all about that. And honestly, women are made for so much more than that.
Amen. Say that again.
Yeah.
We're meant for so much more than that.
Definitely.
Like, we're big.
Yeah.
Cybercrime, tech, I mean,
They're women changing the world right now.
yeah,
So
yeah.
we don't have to like limit ourselves into whatever people say that we should be. Rather expand what they think we should be. We go beyond that.
Sure.
And so that makes us who we are, strong and unique. We're not just a pretty face, not just
Little
a pretty
skirts.
skirt. Yeah, not just a pretty skirt walking around.
Yeah.
We're people with our own identities, with our own work ethic, and with our own thoughts and mind. And we love to be heard as individuals, not as a woman.
True. I really am so proud of you for, doing all that. You actually look too young for what you're saying right now. Like, what you're saying is bigger than you. But it's really a nice thing to know there are people that are aware out there. And I think we need more women who are courageous enough to do what you're doing, what you did, what you keep on doing. But writing always comes with reading.
Yeah.
You're a reader.
Yeah.
Tell me, how is it when I read a novel or a book or whatever it is, I just end up in the first 2 pages. And then the next 2 weeks, I'm going back in the first page. And then I end up on how do you read? How is that?
I mean, honestly, reading, you can build a habit out of it, honestly. But then I wouldn't absolutely say every reader is like absolutely intrigued with every book they're reading.
Yeah.
I get those too. It's like point of view. I also open a book and I'm like, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna go halfway today. And I read like 4 pages and I'm knocked out. I read like 5 pages. But then there are
Such a relief
days,
to hear that.
right? There are days that you hold a book and you just find yourself almost finishing it. And it's all about finding your niche of reading. And honestly, when you realize that when you read more, you're learning more and you're gaining more, and you get to see how people's minds work, and that's kind of a safe space for me, because now I know that I get to figure out small parts of my own personality through reading other people's work, and that also refines my own skills to write my own work. So that's what keeps me reading.
Do you think you want to pursue that as a career? You want to maybe write books about the IT, books about cybercrime, maybe books about how people are engaged? Now we have AIs all over.
Yeah.
And do you think you want to do that as in part of your career some time to come?
I mean, on the practical side, I would rather stay on practicing when it comes to IT. I mean, of course, I would mention it once in a while over the things that I write, but then I don't think I'll pursue it as something that now I'm gonna write a book about it, but I really can't tell what the future holds. But then I'm mostly driven into writing real life scenarios, like as an individual, who you are, what people experience, why do we experience the things we experience, and why are we living the way we're living, that sort of aspect of things. And so it's not mostly about cybersecurity, but maybe somewhere along the line I might consider it.
Throw it here and there.
Yeah, I mean, it's part of my life, so it's gonna go in there somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
How was your family supportive of this? You doing IT? Was it? Did it come to them as a surprise, or was it something that they knew all along that is going to happen?
No, not at all. My career choices were very different.
Given you were a diary girl, I mean, somebody would tell you to go for, I don't know, maybe music
or literature, and
I know.
So,
right?
yeah, I mean, at first I was heading there, but then it was just like I was in this part of my life where I just let God take the pen and just write out my story for me, because I was at crossroads. I didn't know exactly what I was gonna do next, and I realized that that's sort of okay sometimes. You don't have to plan every single thing out. But then my family has been shocked and supportive, because I didn't give off the vibe that I'm gonna take IT from the beginning, because it was during my Form 4, I did take IT, and it was like a subject that I considered dropping. Like it was that bad. And I was like, I don't think I'm ever gonna do anything with IT ever again.
Yeah.
And I was just so sulkish about it. And to my surprise, it my results didn't turn out too bad with my ICT. Overall, they were nice, and I praise God for that. But it wasn't something that people saw in my family. They wouldn't say like, "Oh, Abigail's definitely gonna take IT now." No, but then after going to A levels and coming out, I took PCB actually in my A levels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so when I came out of there, I was like, do I really want to pursue this? And so I applied for UDOM, and this was the course that I got selected in. So I was like, okay, let me give it a try. I mean, it is what's in the market right now. That's what's going on everywhere you go. It's AI, IT, you software developer, you do this, you do that, and it's all about the tech. So I was like, okay, this will be good for me. So
Were you scared at first?
I mean, yeah, you could be. I wouldn't say like absolutely terrified, but then, just the fear of the unknown. Like you don't know if you're going to prevail. You don't know if this is what your life should be about. And mostly the fear of not wanting to waste time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, but then I didn't, and I'm glad. I'm glad.
That's the best part of it. Like, if you would have regretted doing it, that would have been a waste.
Yeah.
But you went for it, and you're loving it. I mean, isn't God great?
He is.
Right. Abigail, I would love for us to dive into the admission because, as we know right now, we're into admission timeline. People are doing admission, and the first window has been closed, the second one has been opened right now. How was it for you when you were doing the admission? Was it hard? What did you go through the process?
I mean, one thing that I can be very grateful of is the fact that UDOM is very innovative in their online systems. So I didn't really have to go through so much trouble to do my admissions. It was as fast as that, like as fast as a snap of a finger. I got online and filled in what I needed to fill in and submitted. And all I had to do is wait. I do not quite recall how long it was, but it wasn't very long till I got my results. So it was enough for me to measure up what I wanted to take and where I was gonna go for it. And this ended up being my choice. And it was a simple process, really. There's no complications about it. As long as you have all your certificates in check, all your numbers in check, and every official thing that you need to have, it's not supposed to be a problem here. They don't make it a problem for you. So it's quite simple, and nobody should be pressured about the admissions that much.
Yeah. Initially, how many universities did you apply for?
I mean, I did the maximum of 2. Yeah, I did here and Arusha.
All right. What made you think that you wanted to come here? Was it a story with your mom that you came and then she told you that you were gonna come here? Was it a course that you were selected here? What made you choose UDOM?
I mean, honestly, that did pop in my mind at first because I did remember that conversation we had, and when I was taking a tour here, and I was like, but then that wasn't the major factor that led me here. I think it's because of the course, mostly. It was because of the course. And I went for it. Like, I took the chance that I could get. And also, I liked the convenience because I live here. So being close to home was also nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Where did you go to school?
For my secondary? For my secondary, I did different schools. I did St. Joseph in Dar, and then I came mid-through. I had to shift because of the whole government shift that was done. So I had to shift here with my family, and I joined my siblings at Cananandria. It's right in Uzunguni.
Right.
So that's where I did my Form 4. Yeah, my Form 4.
Okay, so I believe you were now used to the environment. It wasn't that much of a big trouble, the weather, because I think many people, it's not, I cannot put it as a trouble, but I think it's normal for a person who has grown up in a different um, weather condition now to come adapt in the dome. As we all know here, it is, I think, sub-Sahara, something
Semi-desert, yeah.
semi-desert, something like that. So it wasn't a problem with you to cope with the weather and the environment and the sun.
The sun's definitely there. But then, to be honest, from the first time, at first, I really didn't like the idea of moving to Dodoma at first. But then, when I came here the first time, fell in love with the place, I would say, because if it's any conducive environment for studies, it's definitely here, because this place is huge, A, and it's spacious. You don't really get interrupted with like the daily going of activities here and there in town and all that. And the weather for me was quite friendly, because I really like the cold weather also, and you kind of experience that here. Ironically, it's very sunny, but then Dar is definitely hotter than here, definitely, and that I cannot argue, because I lived in Dar like almost my whole life before moving here, and the cope was fast. It was faster than expected, and so was for my family. The weather is still beautiful. I mean, of course, we miss the rain every now and then, but the weather is beautiful and the environment is calm and it's chill. I mean, you don't get to struggle with traffic every day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, the good thing about the Dodoma, it's sunny, but it comes with a little bit of wind, which makes it cooler than maybe in Dar es Salaam.
Yeah.
Comparing to that, you mentioned something about not being, it's UDOM is sort of isolated from the township life thing and stuff. Do you think that is good for, especially for, female students? As you know, it is very, very, the
yeah
comparing to other universities. Do you think here is a little bit helpful?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, if you're trying to live economical, I'm pretty sure people won't be going out every day, because the price of getting all the way from here to town, and that's not economical. So,
and not to mention, if you're late, you're not going to get a transfer back to uni.
Yeah.
So I think my personal opinion, it is a little bit safer here, unless you really want to go for it.
Yeah. Definitely. UDOM is safer. I mean, of course, there's like a whole other village here, but then it's good. Like, you cannot put yourself in danger unless you want the danger. You just look out for yourself, because you wouldn't say that if I go outside, I would definitely have something bad happen to me. I mean, that can occur in any other college. If you're a person who you're a girl, and of course we don't want to point out this stereotype, but it's true. You're a girl and you're walking in the middle of the night alone in the streets of UDOM, and it's you rarely meet people at night. So it's risky, it's dangerous. But then if you decide to walk at night, but you're in a group and you walk in the day, it's safe. It's a safe place, and it's all about your self-keep. Yeah, but UDOM, it's a good place.
All right. The UDOM is very, very safe to accommodate yourself, and as I have said, we have a lot of facilities that helps students, and a very big number of students to be accommodated here in the campus. So real quick, from your experience that you have from the first day now as a student here coming in for the whole register process up to now, how do you find a UDOM? Is it friendly? Because there are people right now who has already have a multiple admission and they are stuck in between confirming, and they're not sure of the environment, how easy or how hard it is to get here. So from the first day, real quick, how was your experience?
My first day was nice. It was calm. The accommodation was well. We were accepted quite friendly. And I wouldn't say there was quite a problem with anything. I mean, it was much simpler for me to come here because, I live here. But then I also got to see how other students from other parts of the country got a chance to get here. There was a bus. There were multiple buses, actually, filled with students. And it was a whole ride from where they were up to here. And I found that quite nice, actually. Isolating the students also helps them with handling the packages, because when you travel, traveling solo in like another bus, there is this certain feel you'd have to it, like you have all these bags, you have all these books, and everybody's like, oh, she's probably going to college. But then when you're in the bus, you meet people who are going to the same place as you are, and so you don't really feel left out or odd. And that also gives you a chance to even meet people beforehand and make friends and find people who you're probably gonna live with for the following years of your course here at UDOM. So that was nice. And I think that if people have like multiple admissions, they should probably come here, because one thing is to embrace change. I mean, I heard this quote that uncomfortability brings growth. So if you're always somewhere where you're comfortable, you won't feel the need to grow.
Sure.
So if you come, if you come and experience UDOM, of course there's gonna be challenges. I mean, there are challenges in almost every school, almost every college, but then there's also good sides to everything as well. So they should definitely come here. They should definitely come here and embrace the weather, see our little semi-desert, and embrace what comes with everything else. Being a bit far from home is also good, because now you get to feel more independent. And this is definitely the right choice. And if I were to do it again, I would definitely. And so
there is always a master's, a PhD.
There's always
so
something to study.
So you can always come.
You could always come back here and
as a reader, one last question. As a reader, how do you find reading facilities here, the library? And the good thing about UDOM now, we have is it online library, something like that? How do you find the whole reading and writing environment?
I mean, honestly, I love the library here. I wouldn't lie. Like, I don't go to most libraries, but then I've seen the library of Dodoma, which is near PSSF, and other libraries, whereas back in Dar, of course, those are majestic. But then coming here, I really love how they actually stand by their principles. Like, once they say you cannot make noise here, you cannot make noise here. So you're definitely guaranteed of a peaceful environment when you want to have your like solo reading and you want to go through the books, and the facilities are open. You get to borrow any book that you need from the library, no restrictions, as long as you follow the guidelines, of course, because safety first. So it's they delivered in the library. They definitely delivered, and I loved it here. Plus there's free Wi-Fi, so
that was waiting for.
Who doesn't like that? So
who doesn't?
it's good. It's good.
All right. Thank you so much for joining in with me today. I would really love to have you back again
Thank
next
you.
time at UDOM's podcast. Of course, it has been a long time coming for me to see you. Like, we literally had us 3 years back, and I'm still mesmerized about this. Thank you guys so much for joining in today. I hope I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.